Hey everyone, it's Ken here from Northern Viking Everyday. Today I've got a quick PC building tutorial for you. I'm going to be showing you how to mount this Asus TUF Gaming X670-E plus Wi-Fi motherboard in this Corsair IQ4000D RGB Airflow mid-tower PC case. It's really quite simple to do, and this guide will help you avoid some of the common mistakes and get your PC up and running smoothly. Now, of course, if you are interested in any of the components I'm using in my build, they're all linked below in the description, but let's go ahead and dive right into it. So let's quickly talk about the standoffs on this Corsair IQ4000D RGB Airflow mid-tower PC case. This PC case comes pre-set up for an ATX motherboard and it has 9 standoffs pre-installed. So there's one right there, one right there, one right there, 3 in the middle here, and then 3 down here at the bottom. Now 2 of these standoffs, this one right here in the middle and the one here at the top, are slightly different. There's a little ridge on them that kind of slides into the screw hole on your motherboard so you can make sure that your motherboard is in the correct position. This PC case will also support other sizes of motherboards, micro ATX, ITX, and eATX. There's a little legend right here. And there's markings on the motherboard so you know where those standoffs go. So again, I'm using an ATX motherboard, so these are all in the correct location, but you might need to move some standoffs if you're using a different size motherboard. Now, of course, grab your motherboard, hold it up in place, and make sure that all the standoffs align with the holes on your motherboard. You don't want to be putting a standoff into a position and wrecking the backside of your motherboard. And I'll show you here on the motherboard where the 9 screw holes are so you can line it up with the standoffs on your PC case. Again, make sure you're not using any extra standoffs. So my motherboard comes with the IO shield pre-attached. Now a lot of motherboards this is separate, and if it's separate, you'll need to slide the shield into place ahead of time, and it just kind of pops in down here in the back corner. So let's go ahead and install our motherboard here. So it might need to go in at a slight bit of an angle. I like to grab it from the back here. And again, we're lining up those standoffs with those 9 screws. Be very careful. And then again, these 2 screw holes here, because they've got that ridge on them, will kind of pop into the motherboard, and when it's in the correct spot, it shouldn't wiggle. It'll hold it in place because of those 2 standoff locations. So now it's securely in place, and all 9 of the holes line up with the threaded standoffs. So with my PC case came a few packages of screws. We're going to grab the ones that look like this for installing our motherboard. Now, if you're worried about grabbing the wrong ones, you could always try threading one into one of the standoffs before you put your motherboard in. But we're only going to need 9 of those. The other thing I noticed is my heatsink here for my NVMe drive is kind of covering one of the holes. There is a hole there to put it in, but I see that that's going to be a pain. So I'm going to loosen off the heatsink here and kind of move it out of the way to give me a little bit more room to work. So now that the heatsink is out of the way, we're going to take some of the screws, and I like to start with the center, and then I'll go do the 4 corners. We're going to leave them fairly loose at the moment, and we'll go tighten them down a little bit tighter in a bit. And I should mention these are Phillips screw heads, so make sure you're using a Phillips screwdriver and the correct size so you don't strip them. Third corner. Now that I've got the 4 corners done, I'll do the other sides as well. Start here at the top. These ones tend to be the tightest. In the bottom center and the left center. And now that they're all in place, we want to tighten the screws down. Make sure you don't over tighten them, just nice and snug. We don't want to strip these screws if we ever need to get this motherboard out. We don't want to damage any components. Top middle, top corner, left side here. There we go. They're all nice and tight. And I'll reinstall my heatsink. And there we go, my Asus TUF Gaming X670-E plus Wi-Fi motherboard is all mounted in my Corsair iQ 4000D RGB Airflow mid-tower PC case. So I hope this quick tutorial helped you out. If it did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.